called inverted polarity, right? So when the woman is spending more time than she should in the masculine side, and the man is spending more time than he should in the feminine side, over time the polarity inverts. I think that connection would solve so many of the world's problems. I think it would solve so many of our problems in that we have in relationship with each other, because fundamentally men and women want the same things.
Right.
And where we get caught up is we're not seeing and really able to communicate effectively with each other.
Right.
Because we just have all these like layers of trauma and wounds, and we don't even really understand what we need.
Right.
So we just don't connect with each other, and we're just two ships passing.
And a lot of this work is stuff that we do internally.
Well, yeah, most of it is.
Because it's all an external reflection of the internal.
Yeah, every relationship pattern that you're having that isn't serving you is a mirror for you of what you get to work on. It's a mirror for you of how you're showing up. And that doesn't mean you take it personally,
right?
But it means that you use it as feedback to help you understand what it is that you need to work on in your life. And so identifying, patterns and working through them is a huge thing that I do with my clients and my students. I think that's your gift too.
You have a gift when it comes to helping people become aware of their patterns and their attachment styles and how that leaks into how they're showing up in the world.
Exactly.
To heal.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned before we got on this podcast that you were going to give a gift to my audience.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about I'm grateful you're doing that, by the way. I really appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, it was so much fun last time, and I'm excited to do it again. But yeah, I've got an amazing 3-week course experience, a live course experience. It's absolutely free as a gift to all the members of Aaron's community, and it's going to be it's called Mastery of Connection. And so in this course, you're going to be connected to hundreds of women around the world in a dynamic Facebook group. We're going to have 15 video lessons that are truly going to help you understand and transform the way you connect with yourself and all the people in your life, the men in your life, and everyone else as well, from the inside out. So you're going to get live office hours with me twice a week to get whatever support you need on your own individual journey. We're going to help you understand your belief system and help you transform and flip that.
Yeah. I'm
going to help you identify your attachment style and learn how to harness that in a way that is actually going to help you have better relationships. Because no matter where you are in your attachment style, you can have better relationships, and you can actually shift towards secure. People think their attachment style is set. It's not, And I really give a lot of my time too to really help my clients. Students. I do over 40 hours of live coaching. The whole 3rd week of the course is going to be live workshops with me on a lot of the stuff we're talking about today: magnetism, polarity, all this fun stuff. So
if you guys want to join that, you guys go to aarondoughty.com/Matt. So AARONDOUGHTY.com/MAT, 1T or 2 T's.
1T.
They both go to the same.
He's got them both domains.
Some people type in the 2 T's, so I made both.
Yeah. And we start August 9th, but we're going to be going for 3 full weeks, so you can sign up anytime in there, but you want to get in as early as possible. Again, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is fill out an application, and as long as you qualify, you'll get an email from my team telling you that you're accepted, and everybody gets to hop into the Facebook group on August 6th.
Perfect.
So it's going to be a party. Come join us.
Well, I appreciate you doing that, man. I think that you guys will get a lot of value out of that, and I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
To see, last time we did it, there's so many people that were commenting about how transformative it was and just how grateful they were. So that's why I'm like, oh, you can come on and we'll do that again. But so in general, when it comes to what is the first polarity pitfall?
Well, and we've sort of touched on this a little bit already, but we want to get really specific with it, is when a woman brings home the masculine energy that she needs to embody in her work. And again, I'm not saying it isn't important for a woman to be able to embody masculinity in her work. We live in a world where masculine energy is often the required bandwidth that's needed at work. But she will come home on autopilot, right, and still embodying that energy and bring that energy into her relationship with a man. And there are few things in the world that are more just devastating to relationships, especially over time, than being in your masculine energy. So bossing around, micromanaging your partner, being very authoritative to him, being in a very stressed out, like stuck up in your head. Yeah. Preoccupied with stress you've been dealing with at work. Like all that sort of stuff. A man does not want to feel like your employee.
Right.
You know, or you know, like just this, or just someone that's like your therapist, you know, like
yeah,
there's got to be a balance, right? So it's very important, because over time, right, if a woman is on the masculine side of the energetic container consistently, she keeps going back there, a man will, instead of trying to, you know, navigate and push her back into her feminine, which is what he should be doing, right?
Yeah.
Through vulnerable conversation and stuff. Instead, he's just going to say, screw it. I don't want the conflict. I don't want to have this conversation. He's just going to emasculate and shift into his feminine.
Yeah.
He's going to start checking out.
Yeah.
And that's over time, that leads to, that's called inverted polarity, right? So when the woman is spending more time than she should in the masculine side, and the man is spending more time than he should in the feminine side, over time, the polarity inverts, you know, and it reverses, right. and then it ends up collapsing. And once polarity collapses, it's like that spark that held the two of you together, it kind of dies.
Welcome back to this little, sorry for that mini little interruption. We have a whole bunch of things happening. I had stuff being delivered, and then we have people coming to clean the house. So you may see people, if you're watching the YouTube video, walking around behind us. But basically, they're just here to clean the house. They're innocent, just doing what they came here to do. Yeah. Just the timing of it, I guess I thought they were coming later. So anyways, hilarious. What were you saying? Do you remember? We were talking about the masculine and feminine polarity.
We're talking about the first polarity pitfall, which is, you know, a woman unconsciously bringing home a masculine energy frequency from her work into her relationship, right? Yeah. So it's super important for a woman to be conscious of, you know, how am I showing up when I get home from work? And for what I always recommend that my clients and students do is to take time between your work and your home time and create like a process or a practice that helps you get out of your head and into your body. Get out of release your masculine energy and step into your feminine energy.
So what some examples of that could be? Somebody dancing,
yoga, you know, even going for like a run, you know, like just doing something, just meditation, chanting. Anything like that. I mean, there's 1,000. So that's why it's important for you to connect with what makes me feel into my feminine, what makes me turn my mind off and get into my body. Right. So that's a self-inquiry practice that every woman really should do, because, you know, those are tools you can use to when you feel yourself getting into your masculine. Yeah. And it's not a good time. It's not the right time for you to be in your masculine. Yep. You can use those tools and those practices to help just change the energy dynamic, because your energies are incredibly fluid and you have a power to shift them at any time, especially women. It's much easier for women to shift their energy a lot of times than men.
Really? Why do you think that is?
Because women are just much more self-aware in general, and they have much
emotionally
more
connected.
Emotionally connected. They have much more emotional agency. They're just more fluid creatures. In general, so women generally have a superpower to be able to do this. Wow. You know, and so it's important to check in with yourself, and as you enter the home, as you enter your relationship, ask yourself, am I embodying my authentic feminine essence? Right? Am I representing my personal polarity?
The things that would hold a woman back, using the terms that, you know, the feminine back from embodying that, could one of it be that they don't trust the masculine, so they have to keep that masculine energy embodied?
Yeah, well, that's the second pitfall. The second pitfall, you know, or one of the pitfalls we're going to talk about, which I'm happy to talk about now, is a woman default responding to not feeling safe by stepping into her masculine, by throwing up walls, by saying, "Oh, you're gonna not have me feel safe. I feel unsafe with you. Well,
I will create safety.
Fuck you. I will create my own safety.
Yeah.
I will put up my walls. I'll get my guns out. I will kick you in the face. I will do whatever I have to do. I'm going to be my own safety. So I'm going to be the masculine."
Right.
You know, and so when you do that in relationship, when a man, you know, does something to undermine the safety, or you experience something with a masculine, with a man that, you know, makes you feel unsafe, the answer is not to just wall up, go into lockdown, isolate, disconnect, and manufacture your own safety. Because, and I'm not saying there's not times when that's appropriate, like if a man is abusive or if a man is legitimately dangerous, but a lot of times this is all happening emotionally and vibrationally.
Wow.
So instead of trying to correct it, you just like are a turtle and you just like go back into your shell.
Yeah.
And that's never going to get you the outcomes you want, because that's going to completely disconnect and alienate, you know, the masculine figure in your relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not sustainable for you. And the problem is a lot of women get stuck in their masculine energy, because they create a story, and I'm sure a lot of women listening to this can relate to this, where, I have to make myself feel safe because nobody else is ever going to do it for me.
Because of sometimes a father wound or a masculine wound.
Usually a father wound that then leads into a series of traumatic relationships.
Yeah.
So, they were never safe with their father for whatever reason. Dad was abusive, or dad was emotionally disconnected, never gave him emotional support, or he left at an early age.
Or emotionally was unavailable.
Or maybe, he allowed you to have an abusive stepmother and he never stepped in and protected you that way. So in some way, shape, or form, he betrayed your need for safety. And the first time that's created is as a child.
Yeah.
And then you just find relationships with men in your 20s, which is when we all have all of our most brutal relationships, right? Because we're just running our patterns from childhood. And you just attract, that woman just keeps attracting relationships where she gets to be right. About these abusive men.
See, I'm right. I can't trust the masculine, or all men are this way, or...
Yeah. What I experienced with my father is how it is.
Wow.
Therefore, I just keep having that experience over and over and over and over and over again, And so over time, they're like, well, I'll raise the kids by myself. I will be 100% self-sufficient for my own career. I will not ever allow I will never give a man the opportunity to hurt me, because I will be this impenetrable fortress.
Yeah.
And guess what? Those women are tired. Those women are drained. And then those women are like, but why can't I find love? Why can't I be an impenetrable fortress that finds
why
love?
Am I attracting feminine men?
And why am I attracting men that are completely like emasculated little soy boy doughboys? Because I want a real man. But the thing is, like, a real man, a man who's in his masculine, needs to feel like a man in relationship. He does not want to be in relationship with an impenetrable fortress that doesn't even have a drawbridge, and there's like alligators in the moat around it. You know what I'm saying? Like protecting, he needs to feel like he's in a polarized connection with a surrendered, empowered, confident woman who's open, right? Like, who's open to him and open to trust him and allow him to be the physical driver of the relationship, right? So one of the big things of a woman who's intermasculine is she'll be continually frustrated because she'll continually be in relationship with emasculated men. Or men who don't have a strong masculine presence, because there's no room. Like, within the relational container, if you're just this massive masculine presence, right, there's no room in that side of the relational container for a man who's in his masculine, right? The man needs to be in his, and there are men out there who are, with their mother wounds or whatever, the father wounds that they got going on, that are there in their feminine. But then you have a relationship that's built around inverted polarity and wounds from childhood.
I hope you guys enjoyed that little segment from my podcast called the Aaron Doughty Podcast. If you want to listen to the rest of that episode, click the link below. You'll see it on iTunes and Spotify. You can download episodes. It's so easy to listen to. You can do it while you're working out, while you're driving. It's so convenient. And that's where new episodes go live every Tuesday and Thursday, every single week. I have guests coming on the podcast. I have solo episodes, and we go really deep. This is really a place where I get very personable and I share more about things I'm thinking of. I share my top book insights, and you can check it out and subscribe below, and you will see it there. So iTunes, Spotify, listen to the rest of the episode below as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace, much love, and namaste.